This presentation provides an overview of the materials covered in Module C1, Designing Effective Online Assessments. Assessing learning in an online environment can be a complex task. To start off, it is important to build the course on a solid foundation of clearly defined learning outcomes that are measurable. It is important to ascertain the specific type of assessment tools you will utilize in order to assess the stated outcomes of your modules, lessons, and activities. With consultation with the course outline, you will need to decide the ideal assessment methods for evaluating student learning in your class. Some classes might best assess learning through objective assessments, like quizzes or exams. Others may opt for essays or portfolios of student work. Others may assess student performance or demonstration of a specific skill. And many might employ all of these. That's okay too. Whatever approach you take, I highly recommend using Bloom's taxonomy when writing your assessments. The taxonomy is an excellent device which can be used to clearly define the levels of critical thinking your students will require. Assessment methods used for on-campus classes are not necessarily appropriate in the online environment courses. While student-centered assessment methodologies in on-campus courses may lend themselves nicely and can be customized to fit online courses, other assessment types, like Scantron tests, will need to be rethought and replaced by assessment methods that better fit the online environment. The following slides will address several of the major challenges presented with assessing learning in an online environment. These challenges include devising informal assessments, selecting a method of assessment, and addressing academic integrity. In an on-ground course, incorporating preliminary or informal practice assessments prior to having students engage in more detailed projects is a common method utilized in online courses. Consider your course. How do students get feedback on their performance before they are engaged in a formal assessment for a grade? To help address with this, consider designing a variety of low-stakes assignments within each learning unit or module to assess comprehension. These can be practice quizzes, forums, self-assessments, and other activities too. The fact that such assignments give the ability to get familiar with your students' work is an added benefit, which will come into the next section of this presentation. Canvas is equipped with various activities that can be modified into low-stakes assignments to help assess student learning. When designing the low-stakes informal assessments, be sure to incorporate ways that allow you to provide feedback on the assessment given. The following characteristics should be observed. Feedback should be timely. Include meaningful performance feedback within a reasonable time frame. This might be a few days, depending on your teaching load. Take the time to point out mistakes and give suggestions after reviewing student work. Students are more likely to review the lecture material thoroughly in order to address the mistakes you've pointed out. Feedback should be individualized. For each mistake, provide a feedback response that is particular to the submission or performance quality. Feedback should provide reinforcement. Provide reinforcing feedback to correct responses in case students guess their way to the correct response. Which assessments are best for an online environment? The following is a list of suggested online assessment methodologies. Low-stakes writing assignments. Having students write frequently is an effective way to measure their learning longitudinally throughout the course. While longer-term papers are often the expected practice, consider how more regular and lower-stakes writing can facilitate learning in your class. One-sentence summaries. After presenting students with some learning material, ask them to do a quick one-sentence summary to see if they understand the main point, compared to a pre-designed summary you provide. The minute paper. Ask students to write a paragraph summarizing the main points of a course element and important questions that remain unanswered. Punctuated lectures through blogs. After listening to or reading a portion of a lecture or demonstration, ask students to reflect and write about any insights they gained. Continue this periodically throughout a module and have them submit their thoughts. More assessment methods include concept maps. Have students diagram the connections among concepts within the course. This helps them see the relationships of the various elements within the course and help both them and the instructor understand how they learn. Content deconstruction and reconstruction for qualitative investigation of material, like using a wiki. Web folio assignments. Students' comments on the learning experience, like blogs. Use directed learning activities in which the students are assessed on chunks of content needed for salient points and concepts as part of the lecture presentation components of each instructional unit. Assessing participation in Canvas groups, discussion forums, or another collaborative tool such as Google Docs facilitates teamwork and student-centered learning. One of the best features of online communication is that it is retained in Canvas, allowing both students and instructors to access the materials anytime that works for them. A few additional elements to consider for collaborative assessments. Assessment design. Post a topic that will both elicit discussion and require a subjective consideration by each student. Ask open-ended questions and challenge the students to raise their level of learning when responding to your topic. Control discussion by reinforcing students' contribution and directing them to follow up points and consider developing new ideas. Quantity. Set a minimum acceptable posts and replies to earn allocated points toward overall grades. Reinforce and reward student-student interaction that results in higher level learning for all. Qualifying comments. Set standards for acceptable or unacceptable posts. Encourage higher level of learning and thinking, distinguishing recall from comprehension, analysis, and evaluation. Online presentations, demonstrations, individual or group activities in which students present or demonstrate their work as related and expected from the various course modules. Build real-life performance assessment. For those courses that develop competencies, focus on cognitive and affective skills. Develop scoring guides and rubrics ahead of time to assess students' performance. Design a theme around your course curriculum and assign roles for your students to take on throughout the class, demonstrating achievement of the stated course outcomes. Student evaluation of your course. Design and distribute customized surveys for each course to learn more about your students' needs and to get clarification of some of the areas you assess them from their points of view. Consider distributing several surveys corresponding to critical stages of the course. How do you know that the student who takes a test or works on a graded assignment is the same person enrolled in your class? The issue of academic integrity has long been a serious concern in online courses. Throughout the years, instructors and instructional designers have developed many strategies that can be used to address the issue and curtail cheating in online courses. Several prominent ones are listed here. Use a variety of assessment methods. This strategy will help you to closely know each of your students, their writing and work style, as well as their personal expression. Design your assignments so that they are connected to previous and future assignments to form a gradual assignment portfolio for each student. Require the students to refer to previous assignments when working on a new one. This way, you also help your student to create a portfolio of deliverables or products that they can keep at the end of the course. Require product-oriented deliverables, where students need to produce something unique that can only be created by them. Allocate the bulk of your overall grade to assignments assessing higher order thinking, like critical thinking and problem solving, and those that require analysis and content reconstruction. Match assessment assignments with SLOs identified for the course. Open book assignments and discussion entries of this nature will help ensure that students do not just recite the facts, but can apply and transfer their newly acquired knowledge. Use project and essay-based assignments. submitted by the students for your review and evaluation. Require frequent participation in asynchronous communication, discussion forums, and collaborations as part of each content module. Finally, avoid the exclusive use of factual tests, such as multiple choice or true-false assessments. Although various proctoring software is used in some online courses, these methods can be technically complex, expensive, and are not necessarily effective. There are several activities associated with this module. First, review the supplemental reading and support materials. Next, apply the information covered in this unit by completing development deliverable C1, in which you develop an assessment plan for your online class. And thirdly, I urge you to view the C1 optional presentation that provides details for assessment validity and authenticity in online courses. Thank you for watching. Please continue this module and contact the course facilitator with questions.